Okay, let's just jump right in. What if I told you that the most advanced piece of tech for upgrading your brain isn't some new microchip, it's not from some secret lab in Silicon Valley, but was actually developed over 5,000 years ago?
Yeah, it sounds a little bit like science fiction, doesn't it? We're all wired to think that new tech is always better tech. But today, we're going to look at some serious, peer-reviewed research from places like Harvard and India's top neuroscience institute, NIMHN's, that pretty much proves this exact idea. So let's be really clear about this for our conversation today. We are stripping away all the mysticism, all the spiritual layers. We're looking at the Om mantra, made of the sounds A, U, and M, through the cold, hard lens of 21st century neuroscience. Think of it as a piece of ancient acoustic technology, designed to interact with your nervous system with just startling precision.
So let's start with the hard, physical evidence. What actually happens inside your head when you're stressed? And more importantly, how can this specific sound change that in real time? Well, that brings us to a really groundbreaking study.
You know, the cool thing about an fMRI is that it's not just a static picture. It actually tracks blood flow, which means you get to watch a live video of the brain at work. So researchers at NIMHANS got 12 volunteers, put them inside one of these massive machines, and just watched to see what Om chanting really does.
And this is where it gets really fascinating. The scientists needed to know, was it just the deep breathing causing all the changes, or was there something special about the sound itself? So they had people chant Om, and then, for a control, they had them make a long, neutral hissing sound. Sss. And the result? The sus sound did absolutely nothing. Zero deactivation in the brain. Only the Om vibration acted like an off switch.
So what did that off switch control? Well, the scans showed a major drop in activity in the limbic system. That's the brain's ancient alarm center, its fear center. The researchers even noted that this pattern looked almost identical to something called vagus nerve stimulation, which is a medical treatment used for severe depression. The sound was literally physically calming the brain's fight-or-flight response.
Okay, so that's the brain, but this rabbit hole goes so much deeper. I mean, all the way down to our actual DNA. This next finding from Harvard Medical School is, well, it's pretty staggering, frankly. 2,209. Just look at that number for a second. What in the world could that possibly be? That is the number of genes that scientists at Harvard's Benson Henry Institute found actually express themselves differently in long-term mantra meditators versus a control group. Now let's be crystal clear. We're not talking about changing your DNA code. We're talking about changing which parts of your existing code get switched on or off. Here's a great way to think about it. Picture your DNA as this huge, complex soundboard. The vibration in your throat starts this chain reaction that tells your body, hey, we're safe. In response, your cells literally start pulling down the sliders on the genes for stress and inflammation. And at the exact same time, they push up the sliders for the good stuff, genes for energy metabolism and immune function. The mind, just by using sound, is actively remixing your biology. It's wild.
So, we've seen it calms the brain, we've seen it changes your genes. But what does that actually feel like? What's the real-world performance payoff? Well, let's look at the numbers.
First up is cognitive flexibility. That's your brain's ability to adapt, to switch tasks, to think on your feet. The data shows an average improvement of 38%. That is a massive boost in mental agility, and it's tied directly to more activity in your prefrontal cortex, your brain's CEO. Next, emotional intelligence. Remember how we saw OM shutting down the brain's fear center? Well, here's the result of that, a 31% average improvement in EQ. What that means in your daily life is measurably better stress management, better moods, and more empathy.
And this one is huge for anyone out there who struggles to focus. Concentration went up by an average of 44%. EEG scans show this immediate surge in what we call alpha brain waves. You can basically think of alpha waves as the brain's signature for flow state, that feeling of being totally locked in, relaxed but sharp. It's like putting your brain into a state of deep, calm focus on command. So think about the journey we just took. We went from an ancient sound inside a 3 Tesla MRI scanner, down to the genetic level, and then all the way back out to real measurable improvements in your performance. We started with just a syllable, and we ended up with a complete biological upgrade. I really want to leave you with this thought from Dr. Hemant Bhargav, the lead scientist on that fMRI study. After seeing all this data firsthand, he said that chanting Om isn't just making a noise, it's using a very specific resonant frequency to tune your entire biological instrument.
a 5,000-year-old technology now being validated by 21st century science. It really makes you wonder, right? What other ancient knowledge are we just beginning to understand?